All right, people, welcome back to Behind the Scenes, and it's called BTS Uncut. It's a podcast where we sit over here. As it says, BTS is behind the scenes. We talk about the stuff people don't see on camera. With me over here, we have somebody. I don't even think I should introduce her because a lot of people know her already. She goes by Naija Wife Kitchen.
That's
So,
sweet.
welcome, Naija Wife Kitchen. It's a
Thank
privilege having you on this podcast, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about. Do you want to tell
Yes.
our fans a little bit more about yourself? Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Because I have a lot to talk about you. I don't want you talking about it and
Yes.
spoiling the tea for us.
Yes, so my name is Tahnee. People think my name is Naija, but it's really Tahnee. I'm the owner and cook at Naija Wife Kitchen. I'm married into the Nigerian culture. No, I'm not Nigerian. That's the first question I get asked. I'm not Nigerian by maternal or paternal birth, but I actually trace my lineage back to Nigeria.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
What coincidence, though?
I know exactly what a coincidence. So that's pretty much me.
Now, for the people that don't know, the few and the ignorant, Naija Wife Kitchen, she's one of the biggest Nigerian kitchens over here. I call it Nigerian kitchen because most people know about Mama Z. And when you Google up Naija Wife Kitchen or Nigerian food, if it's not Mama Z, it's Naija Wife Kitchen. I mean, we'll take nothing away from Mama Z, but
Yes,
then-
and they're my friends, by the way. They're
and when
my
I started
good
looking
friends.
up, I'm like, Naija Wife Kitchen, and who's this? And I met you in Dallas,
Yes.
and everything just came to play. But for the people that don't know, you just opened a new restaurant. Not a new restaurant, you opened a new location. Where is that at? Because in my mind, that's the biggest thing, because that's what we're going to be finding you before whatever news. we do.
Yes. So next month I will be moving back downtown because I was originally downtown. I'll be moving into the Robinson Renaissance Food Court. So that is downtown off Robinson and Park. So that'll be next month. My grand opening will probably be in February. I mean, we'll already be in business, but I want to do a big grand opening event that almost like will be in February.
Better be over there covering it.
Yes.
We'll need it for the brand too. But what got you into food? I understand you married to a Nigerian, and
Yes.
that's part of the culture. You got to be able to. You say, way to a man's heart is through his it's through his stomach, right?
Yes.
Especially African. I don't know about African American men, but African men, they like the food. So for
Their
that
own
reason,
food,
yeah.
their own country's food.
It makes sense for
It
you to be able to prepare Nigerian food. But how did you get into doing it commercially?
Yes. So as far as commercially, I'm originally from Oklahoma, but I left in like '99 when I was a kid. So I moved to Dallas. I'm 35 now, so I've been going a long time. I just relocated back about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't come back and forth. So I was just posting, the food that I cook at home because I really don't cook American food. I don't. So at home, I'm cooking Nigerian food and I'm posting on Facebook, and people are like, "Oh, you making fufu? You know how to make fufu? Oh, I want to taste it. I always want to taste it." So I'm like, "Okay." And somebody kept saying, "Well, you should start selling plates." I was like,
You're
"What?"
like-
So I just did a pop-up shop. It was a pop-up shop at Nappy Roots Books, and I sold out in 2 hours. And I cooked a lot of food. 2 hours.
Pop-up shop in 2
Just
hours.
a pop-up shop. I set up, I literally had like a picnic table, a tablecloth, and some warmers set up. And I
Oh,
sold
wow.
out in 2 hours. And I was like, okay.
That's how it always starts. And you go, oh well, maybe, just maybe. Yeah. The thing about business is it's about serving people. It's not about anything. It's about if you find a group of people that have a need for a specific thing. And I can tell your market is not necessarily Nigerians, but African Americans, right?
Yes, well, really not even African Americans, just Americans as a whole. Right now, I have more customers who are white.
Then
White and the Asians, and but a lot of African
and they come
Americans
forward and
too.
eat fufu.
Yes.
Now let's
yes.
talk about this fufu thing. Nigerians have a different conception about, not Nigerians, the Westerners. They don't
Right.
understand fufu, and fufu is very popular.
Yes.
And I think this is one of the things we're going to talk about in the new book you have coming up. Let me let this tea out of the back now. She has a book that she's written about food, and the reason why I had her over here is because we should be talking about fufu and food because that's how we grew up. But I'm happy to have someone address the misunderstanding because
Thank
Americans think fufu, they have a different concept about fufu, but it's so
Yes.
popular, so much so that people pop up saying other stuff about it. I can't go about addressing all of those complaints, but I'm happy you can address them. So
That's my full-time job now.
we're going to talk about the book just in a little bit, but before we get into the book, I met you in Dallas, right?
Yes.
What is it you do apart from food? Because I don't want to dwell too much on this specific part of food because a lot of people know you already. That's That's the truth. You have a good following on Facebook.
Yes, yes, sir.
And like a decent following. The Americans be like, they fuck with you. Let me use the F word. A lot of people that F with you like that on Facebook, and you can tell it's genuine. You know,
Yes.
it's about the food. They need their food. You know, they like the stuff you do.
Yes.
But apart from that, what else do you do?
Oh, I have a talk show, Nigerian talk show. With he's like a brother to me. The event that we met, Aladdin, the AMA Awards. We've been doing that since 2019, and it's to bridge the gap between Americans and Africans, basically. Well, in his perspective, since he's Nigerians.
Yeah.
So I've been into film for a while. I've never been an actress. I'm more of a writer and talk show. So this is natural to me. I can do this all day, every day. Acting, I was scared.
I can tell. The short we did, the Stingy Man, right? Originally, when we was casting, normally we normally cast with whoever we've seen acted the whole lot. I can easily just cast Amy because I've seen her a ton of times, so I know I wouldn't be teaching her on set. So I was like, well, I haven't seen Naija wife teaching on set before, so let's give her something that's not very heavy. And you put off and brush the stuff out. And I'm not even saying it for the cameras because Lami, she's not just Lami. Us, we picky. We kind of try. We want to make things better. We want the next shot to be better, be it the camera work or be it the editing. So I think you nailed that one, and wherever that's gonna come from, it's a lot coming from there because we've come together. We're out here making film.
Yes.
We want to be able to tell our own stories, not just like African but Black people, because no one's gonna tell that story for you.
That's right.
You know, which is why when it comes to things like our heritage, what people do, whatever you're wearing over here, I haven't commented on it already. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
This is what we grew up seeing. So to be able to still keep this culture on this other side of the world, it really means a whole lot to us. So, you know, but for you, I mean, it's still hard for me to understand how you got so freaking rooted into the culture because you're more like Nigerian now than you.
That's what everybody says. That's what everybody says. It's just, you know, what peaked it for me, to be honest. My husband, he's a drummer, right?
Yeah.
So he played for church, Redeem Church. I don't know if you know about Redeem. It's the biggest
Expressway?
Nigerian. Yeah, but the biggest parish, you know, is in Nigeria. In Dallas, my church that I go to is like 500 members. So
is that Redeemed?
It's Redeemed. Yeah, Heaven's Glorious Embassy. So it's like 500 members. So our first date per se, years and years ago, was at church. He invited me to church because he had to play. So I came and I said, well, are the Americans there? And he was like, no. And I didn't know what to expect. And it was on a Thanksgiving Sunday. So I know now in the Redeemed Church, Thanksgiving Sundays, everybody wears native. So everybody will be dressed like this.
Yes.
So I walked in the church and it's like 500 Nigerians all in their native, and I never saw that in my life.
You're like, this is wow.
It was beautiful. In the music, the praise and worship music, it was what I'm hearing, our contemporary music in English, the same songs, but with the African drums, the talking drum in the background and the Congo, and the way they were singing it and swaying their body, because you know in America we have to dance in church with our shoulders.
Oh yeah, you got it.
But everybody was swinging their hips.
In an African church, they'll do the kind of stuff that's gonna make an American deacon go. Are we supposed to dance that in church?
That's what I thought, because when the beat dropped and all the mummies got low in the front, I said, wait.
Yeah, like,
and then I was like, wait, this is what was stripped from us. This is what was taken from us. And honestly, at that moment, I wanted to know everything about the culture, because it was just, I was intrigued. Yeah. So I made myself to dive into the culture, not only because of my roots, but because I wanted to understand my husband, this man who I was dating. I wanted to understand him because I knew we would end up getting married.
Isn't that just beautiful of you? Like this is you giving up your own self and your values and your belief just for another culture, because you think you were deeply rooted in that culture, which is really beautiful. And I think I really admire it, but it's different. And the thing about Africa is we're so culturally rooted, so much so that sometimes you see it to be beautiful because it's the little things we'll still uphold. This outfit is what everyone's still gonna wear to a specific wedding. If that was their friend, everyone's gonna sew that piece of material and not go, well, he's just my friend. He didn't. That's how it is. People, you know, we come together as a group and we try to support our own. Is what we'll normally see. So, anyway, that's that about the food, and we'll have a lot more to talk about food coming up. The Renaissance building. It's just 7 minutes from here at most, I think, or less. So that's where she's moving into. and you might want to show up and check on her food. I don't want to say anything about it because it's a lot of people I know that go over there to check on her food, so the food speaks for itself.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about this book of yours. What's the name of it?
So the name of the book, for my followers who are still there, for everybody watching, is called Fufu is Not Dough.
Fufu is not dough.
Yes.
Let me say what that book is one of the for our fans out there. It's one of the things that made me say, oh, let her jump on this podcast quicker than she was supposed to, because I've had this problem a lot of times. Most people think fufu is bread.
Yeah, everybody.
They think you can just jump out of the house when you're in a hurry and you don't want to heat the soup up. You can just grab it and you can just bite it on your way out. No, it's not.
Yes.
So
I get that question so many times a day. Or people say, I want some of the dough. Or give me some of that dough. And I'm like, it's not. I had to explain it because I don't want them expecting something that it's not.
Well, but that's what we're here for.
Yes.
So what conception do Americans think fufu is? That was what I learned. I don't know if it's the exact same thing, but they think you can just grab it on your way out.
Yeah, well, first of all, a lot of people think that African cuisine as a whole, let's not separate the countries.
Yeah,
most people, African cuisine as a whole, it's called fufu. Not the swallow, but the cuisine.
My. Now
Yes.
that's even wilder than I thought.
Yes.
Wait,
so
they think everything Africans cook. It's
a lot of people do. I'm not going to say everybody.
No, not everybody. A lot of people.
Mm-hmm. They call the cuisine fufu. They say, oh, I had fufu before, and they're talking about the soup.
Oh.
So I had to explain to them it's not really the fufu that you even want, because the fufu really doesn't have flavor, or the swallow doesn't have flavor. It's the soups that you want to taste, and there are different soups that are cooked different ways from different countries. Even the different tribes cook them differently. So that's what I have to explain.
Isn't that nice of you? Just saying that. How many types of fufu is there? Because everyone thinks it's just one type of fufu. And sometimes I go about and say, some of this is made from something else. It's not the same thing. So from your experience, I mean, I grew up in Africa, so it's specific fufu to specific countries or cultures.
Yes.
Yam became popular from Nigerians as opposed to us.
Yes.
We have cassava that's more popular to us. And so
cassava.
tell us about the kind of fufus you know.
Yes, so the swallows, the main swallow the only swallow that I serve is pounded yam. The reason why is because it's the more familiar to Americans, because it tastes like potato that was made from a yam.
Yeah.
But we do have cassava in the Nigerian cultures. Ours is called gari or eba.
We have gari.
Is it the same? Okay, yeah. So so y'all. Frosty is Cameroonian, by the way.
Yeah,
we didn't say that.
Oh yeah, we didn't say that part. now, Nigeria is the nearest neighbor, so we share a border. So it's a lot of things we understand about them, but we just different people. They have their own way of doing stuff, a little bit different. We do mostly cassava, and we call it water fufu sometimes. Instead of, but then we make gari out of it too. So,
okay.
Yeah,
so
we'll take cassava and make gari with it, and then we'll take cassava and not put the palm oil in it, and then instead make fufu from it. It's gonna look exactly like yam fufu.
I would love to see that. Matter of fact, I love to taste it.
Yes, it looks almost exactly like yam fufu with the color and everything, but it just tastes a little different. But then we also make gari the same way Nigerians make it.
And eba, I was telling y'all about eba.
Fufu and eba too. Yeah, good. Eba.
So we have that. We have a semo or semolina. We have wheat fufu, plantain fufu, amala, which is the dark brown one, made from either plantain or yam, dehydrated yam, but they let it age to color. It's so many oat fufu. That's one of my faves. So it's a lot.
Fufu. Yeah, I've heard of oat fufu. It's made from oatmeal.
Made from oat. So it's several different kinds, but the one I serve in Naija Wife Kitchen is just a pounded yam.
So the concept is fufu. It's a type of filler. Is what we're saying in the book. It's not a general name for African cuisine as a whole. So generally, I didn't eat fufu today before coming over here. The way every Westerner, not every Westerner, the way some Westerners have the misconception. But I like that. The thing, I think the reason why this is not for me, but you must have met a lot of people from Africa messing with you a whole lot because of the fact that it's different. Every time someone says something to a Westerner, I want to use that word, I don't want to differentiate using black, white, and all. We're all people. To a Westerner, they have a different mentality. It's sometimes I call it ignorance, and I tell the Africans too, we ignorant about a lot of stuff when we got over here. So believe me, I'm in America and I might walk into a bathroom and as I just got here, I try to figure out how it works.
Yeah.
That simply means I understand these guys that haven't been to Africa. I don't get mad at them about the conceptions they have. It's people that
Exactly.
think we have lions in our backyard. They're not pets.
I get that a lot, even asking me.
Yes. So that's the reason why I'm like, thank God we can finally find someone that speaks exactly the Western language with no accent, so that we can be able to put the story out there, because that's how we work. But what plans do you have for your business and your restaurant and so forth? What do you see in the future?
Oh goodness.
Because at this level, you big. When we Google Nigerian food up, it's you or
Yes.
Naija Wife Kitchen. So
Yes, it's
Eddie, they told me the plan. They're trying to get big, franchise everything, and make it look really big. And you've got that potential. That's why I'm asking.
Oh yes, most definitely. I plan on franchising. The goal to me is, since Oklahoma doesn't have that many African restaurants,
Yeah.
I'm trying to normalize West African cuisine and as an everyday meal option. So it's not, oh, we eat this, once a week just when we have a taste for it. I have customers that come just like 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm only open 5 days a week during lunch hours, from 12 to 6. So my plans are to franchise and to make a like a drive-through type.
Drive-through. That's gonna be
Yes, and I have people there. I have some big investors. Their eyes on me. So we'll see what 2020.
keeping up the good work, because
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure this is gonna pay off like real quick, because the word investors, you can actually own 100% of almost nothing, or you can get some people over there, because the work you're doing is some good work. Sometimes I see it on Facebook, I'm like, how does she even manage all that? The plate, the cook. That's the thing about owning a small business.
It's a lot.
She's got to mop the floor. She's got to be the janitor.
Yes.
She's gonna be the one to label this place. So
Yes.
when the business starts getting big, you might want to start thinking of, okay, now we need more people over here. But the concept itself, whatever you put into it's beautiful. We like it, and this is me saying for the Africans and Cameroonians that we see what you're doing with our culture, and we over here trying to support it in our own way. That's why we even have a camera in front of us, because it's gonna mean a lot to Africans to see other people dressed in their own outfit, because to Lami, this is a way of getting our culture out there, telling our own film, putting our stuff on camera. So that's beautiful. I'm happy to have you over here.
We're not done yet.
All right, people, we'll be done soon, so you guys can have your Naija Wife Kitchen back. They're like, this Cameroonian, why is he keeping her that long? Now let's talk more about the book. Now she said she's releasing the cover of the book tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have an idea about it, but I wanted you to be here first, and let's talk about it a little bit. Let me give these people some tea. This is called exclusive, because I'm pretty sure whoever's watching this online, they wouldn't have known by tomorrow you dropping a book.
That's true.
Tell us a little bit more about what I haven't touched on the book.
Yes, so the book, besides it talking about the food and explaining, the in-depth, and even having some recipes to make to make fufu.
Yeah.
It's like a memoir, my journey from marrying into the culture, like my very first experiences with the food, some funny stories, personal stories, between me and my husband. My journey up until now, basically, the in-depth behind the scenes of my emotions and how I was feeling going through the landlord harassment situation I told you about a little bit at my first downtown location, to how I came out of that. It's just pretty much my journey from years ago until now.
I'd like to read that, and I'm pretty sure to our fans out there, whenever the book is out and we have a copy of it, we'll sit over here and talk about it when I've read it, because I'd like people's memoirs to see I always like to see what's going on in people's minds and their lives anyway. But as soon as the book comes out, we'll be over here. But the beautiful thing about the book is it's talking about African food, and that's all we want. That's all we care about.
Yes.
Mostly. So I'm pretty sure when the book comes out, I'll put it out there to my people. You can. Where can we grab a copy whenever it's going to be out?
So it's going to be on Amazon, and for those who don't know, this is not new to me. I've been a published author since 2014. I got my first publishing deal. I've been writing professionally since 2008. So it will be on Amazon, but I'll have hard copies at the restaurant as well.
Okay.
Yes.
We Africans, we the black people, we want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Most
other people.
definitely.
I like to see my book.
Yes.
I like to read my book and see it, which is the reason why even on set, when we get to read scripts from the phone, it don't add up. So subsequently, we'll pull up with our scripts so that you can make your little jots and your notes and your little stuff on the side. Now, this wasn't intended to be a very long episode, so very soon we'll be rounding up, and I really appreciate having Naija Wife Kitchen over here. I'm careful about the things I want to say because I don't want to let a lot of cats out of the bag because her restaurant is just down from here, which means we'll have a lot to be talking on the show more there. I want to be able to go over this book so that on our next episode we can talk in depth about the book, and you can go about writing more books. And keep it in mind, we need writers. So as you keep writing, get with Lami so that we can get some more of those scripts going. Because if not because of Lami, I'm too busy to get any writing done. Because whenever we get the writing, I'm still trying to put the stuff together. I wish I had the time to write, but if I had some writers to help that lady, we'll be doing great stuff. Help out. Great stuff over here. But Naija Wife Kitchen, you look very pretty in this outfit. Thank you for coming today to our podcast, BTS. And right now we are at Paragon Printing Solution, and this podcast is brought to you by Paragon Motion Pictures. We are a production company in an entertainment company in Oklahoma City. So we do videos, photography, and in here we print everything. We're talking about t-shirts, mugs, and everything. We embroidery too. So please, if you need any of our services, if you can't contact me, contact Miss Tahnee over here and Naija Wife Kitchen. She knows where we are and we'll get to you. So this was brought to you by Paragon Motion Pictures. Thanks for watching and we'll hope to see you on the next one.
Thank y'all.